Hi everybody, this is Arkady Frekhtman, and today I wanted to talk about how much a case is worth. How much can you get for your personal injury lawsuit, and what are the driving factors that are almost like the levers that determine value? So number one is you want to make sure that the plaintiff, the person bringing the case, is likable and is humble, not greedy, not like angry or irritable or fighting with defense lawyers, fighting with witnesses, because that's a big turnoff. Number two, you want to make sure that there's enough insurance coverage. Some cases, unfortunately, only have like a state minimum of $25,000. Well, there's not much you could do with that. So you want to make sure there is enough coverage, like $1 million or more, excess and umbrella. And you can find that out just by asking for it. And in many states, like New York, they have to tell you automatically. So you want to make sure that you can get that information. The other factor that's really critical is the issue of liability, right? How did the incident happen? What happened? And what did the defendant do wrong? Sometimes things are unavoidable. Things just happen. Sometimes it could be the client's own fault. But often, if you get into, let's say, a crash with a truck, it could be the truck that was at fault, rear-ended you. It could be that you slipped and fell, but it was an unsafe condition. So you want to really dive in deep. And if you need to, you have to hire experts like safety experts, engineers, accident reconstruction experts to help prove liability. Because if you prove the other side was at fault, then you're halfway to winning and getting the money that you want to get. And the other half is going to be damages, right? So have you been going? Has the injured person been going to the doctor? Are they making all their appointments? If they were recommended for surgery, did they have the surgery? And what are the overall damages? And that's critical. You want to have all those doctors. You want to be able to call the doctors, have them testify at trial. And the other part of it is going to be looking at economic damages, such as lost wages, the paycheck losses, right? If you have lost wages, you want to add that to the case. And as well as future medical costs, because if you have a major injury, such as a spinal surgery, well, then you're probably going to have adjacent segment disease. It's a medically known issue at the level below and the level above where you had the surgery. So just that is another $200,000 in expenses medically, because a surgery is about $100,000. Plus you've had this surgery, physical therapy, prescriptions. And when we've been working up these cases, we see that even somebody who's in their mid-50s, well, just the future medical expenses could be like $2.5 million or more. So that could all be added to the case to make the case so much more valuable. Because remember, that's just one element of damages. But what about lost wages? What about pain and suffering, past and future, and loss of enjoyment of life? And that brings me to the other point, is that a lot of lawyers, when they prepare the case, they just kind of do it in a way where it's very rote and kind of like very, very basic and boring. And they don't really get to know their client. But what you really need to do is understand the client, how this injury has changed their life, because very often we're dealing with life-changing forever injuries. So we have to really go to the client's home, meet with them, speak with them, prepare them, understand like their childhood, their biography, how everything's changed, their relationship with the things that they love to do, how that's changed, their relationship with the people in their life that they love, and how that has changed. And really paint that picture by, getting the testimony from the client, but also getting it from these people in their life. So interviewing neighbors, coworkers, people at work, people like family members and friends, anybody in their life, right, that could talk about how their life has changed. And some people may only know the person and how they were before they got injured, and they won't know them after. And some people may only know them after and won't know them before, but that's okay. And then some people will know both, but they'll only know one aspect of it. For example, somebody from the softball team will only know, hey, he used to play softball, and now I know he just doesn't come around anymore, he's not able to play on the team. Somebody from work might say he used to work, and now he comes in part-time, sits at the desk, but he's not able to do the physical work that he did before, of lifting things and of delivering packages or whatever the job was, right? So you have these witnesses, and you get as many as you can, sometimes 7 or 10 witnesses, and each one just talks about one aspect of what they know about the injury victim and how their life has changed for 5 or 10 minutes. But then altogether, it's very powerful, and it destroys the defense, because the defense wants to argue, oh, this is somebody who's not hurt. This is somebody who's a malingerer, a liar, a cheater, and a fraud. This is somebody who's looking to win the lawsuit lottery. They're not really hurt. So you say, wait a minute, all these people are lying? The person from their job is lying. The person, their friend is lying. Their neighbor is lying. The dry cleaner is lying. The person, all these people, come on, it's impossible. So it really makes the case very, very strong. I also like to exchange photographs and videos or really paint a picture of the person's life. And sometimes you see certain themes that recur, such as you don't want to be a burden to your family. You want to be part of the family. You want to help. You want to play your role in the family. And things like, for example, overcoming an obstacle, right? You always want to tell the story of hope, that you're overcoming something. You're never giving up. You're never whining. You're never complaining. You're always going to overcome. And even this injury, even though it's a life-changing injury, one day, you're still fighting, and you have the story of hope and overcoming even this injury. So I hope this is helpful, but I think this is really like the type of things that you have to look at. And ultimately, you have to make sure that whoever is guiding you on this journey, like the lawyer is really guiding you through like the deep, dark woods of a lawsuit, because people don't understand, right? What's a lawsuit, how this works. So you have this attorney that's holding your hand and guiding you. You want to make sure that the attorney is doing all of these things that I mentioned, like making sure that all the elements of damages are covered, telling the human story, interviewing witnesses, finding out your biography, finding out how much insurance there is. Because if somebody is just kind of going through the motions and doesn't really care, and is just another case to them, and then they're happy to take the settlement offer because they're gonna throw money at you. And a lot of lawyers say, oh my God, you're giving me $400,000, that's a lot of money. And then they instead of fighting with the insurance company for more, where the case could be worth $4 million, right? But they have 400 on the table. Instead of fighting for the $4 million with the insurance company, what they do is they turn it around and they fight with the injury victim, and they say, are you crazy? Take the 400, it's so much money. And then a lot of people just fold and take it, and then they never see true justice, which was really like 4 million or maybe more. So it's very important to prepare the case properly from day one. And that's how you really get to full value and getting to understand how much a case could truly be worth. So I hope this was helpful. Let us know what questions you have. And our goal is helping injury victims and families, and we are here for you.